Hi everyone. It's a really pleasure to introduce the final event, the final conference for the Sprint project. So thank you all the sprinters that arrived now. The idea is just to start with some presentation belonging to the different partners who participated in the project in order to show what are the results we got during the project. The project has been successfully, even if the COVID created a lot of problems during the mobility of our students. Many of them were in Barcelona. Some of them were in Barcelona during the COVID, and we try to find innovative solution also for managing their status in Barna still. So I would like to give the floor to Nicola Mellus in order to introduce the project and the other partners.
Thank you. Okay, starting by sharing my screen. Okay, I prepared some slides for the presentation, but I mean, I decided to have another type. I mean, another kind of presentation because we want. We want to start by presenting the agenda of the day. So I'm gonna show you the agenda because we will have some partners that comes from universities and partners that comes from companies. We divided companies in tech providers and non-tech providers, and this is the agenda. Sorry. Okay. Okay, we had Professor Fantoni that has the opening, and then I'm going to introduce and telling and talking about Sprint 4.0. Then we will a speech by Alan from it's not from URL that will talk about audit methodologies, and it will answer to the question of how is it possible to understand the company needs. Then we will talk about training and how did the project address the needs of companies, and we will have Robert Hellbach from BIBA from Bremen, and then we will see a case study from TOI that now is called Zerint by Luigi Cerfera. And then we will talk about the challenge, the coaching and the mobility, and we will ask to the question, what is the output of the training program with a case study, where we will have Andrea Benni and Karl Hans, respectively from University of Pisa, a student, and a company OHS. And then we will close up our conference talking about the handbook on how to replicate and exploit a Sprint 4.0 project. Okay, this is the agenda. Maybe some of you are a bit confused because, okay, what are we talking about? What is Sprint 4.0? And we decided to start with questions because, as Professor Fantoni said in the previous webinar, we want to address our problems, and we want to drive our research by having questions. So we will start with the first question. That is not what is Sprint 4.0, but we will start with the question on what is Industry 4.0. And I want to give you a roadmap of the Sprint project, starting from the Industry 4.0, looking at the website, because this is the final conference. So we want to explain what is the aim of Sprint 4.0, and we want to show what are the results, what have we done. Okay. What is Industry 4.0? It was a question in 2017 that has no a strong answer. There were a lot of different answers, a lot of different companies and researchers that has different opinions. But the most important was what is the opinion of companies and what is the opinion of students? What the students were going to learn about Industry 4.0. if, for example, I was a student in 2017, and that was a very strong question for me. Was like, okay, I don't know what is Industry 4.0, and I don't know how can I learn something about Industry 4.0, and what are the companies. And I raised a lot of questions. So as teacher, as universities, we had the idea, Professor Fantoni and other two universities that they came from Bremen and Barcelona, to create a new way to develop skills for students. But this new way had to be had to follow a sprint approach. I don't know if you know what doesn't where the word sprint comes from. Sprint comes from a fast prototyping methodology to develop a product. It was introduced by Google, and why do we choose to call this sprint? Because we wanted uh, to gather the requirements and to learn and to get students ready for this industrial revolution. How did we thought about the project? I'm going to show you. I'm going to go through the site, through the website, so you can see the results, and we can surf inside in order to know how it has been developed. First, we had the audit methodologies. Some of us are engineering students, and some of us are management engineering students. So we know what is audit, but I will explain it as well. An audit is a way to assess the level of a company, the level of something, but maybe it's wrong. The audit methodologies in this case are a way to assess the level of maturity of Industry 4.0. The scenario is the following. I am a company, and I want to I want to develop some Industry 4.0 applications, but actually I don't know what is the level. Am I ready to develop certain tools, certain methodologies? I'm able to introduce something that is related to Industry 4.0. So we developed an audit methodologies. There was a way to assess the level of maturity. After that, we were able to state and to have a photo of what is the status of some companies in Italy, in Spain, and in Germany. And after that, we decided to start the design of 3 courses. Okay, we had those 3 courses coming that were have been made in 3 different countries, and the three courses had 3 different topics. We decided to focus on automation production system, big data and security, and industrial IoT. And in addition, we had also a common part that is like the introduction to Industry 4.0. The courses were made of a 1 week training course. Okay, so the course in each country last 1 week, and in this week we had some common parts. So let's see, for example, in the website, the content of the common parts. So we talk about the audit methodologies, we talk about digitalization, and we talk also about prototyping, because we had, okay, let's go back to the overall view, to having a bird eye view of the project. We assess the level of Industry 4.0 from companies, and then we provide some courses to the students. But then, is then something missing? how is it possible? The question, the following question is, how it is possible to develop rapidly and fastly a solution for real problem? That's the way we introduce the prototyping, and we introduce also the mobility. What does it mean, prototyping? Prototyping is maybe the fastest way to prototype a product or a solution. If you think of prototypation, the aim of the prototypation is to test the product. For the prototyping, the aim of course, the prototyping with the E is to test the idea. So during the course, we had the possibility to test the idea, and we give the possibility to students to develop their own idea. But in addition, the students have the possibility to go abroad in another country. How they go abroad in another country? In a formula that is called the mobility. With the mobility, we had students from Spain that went to Germany, students from Italy that went to Spain, and students from Germany that went to Italy. This was, this was one of the most innovative way to talk and to do training, because they had the possibility to go to some companies. And during we had unfortunately we had some issues with the COVID, and then Andrea is going to talk about it, the mobility, and then we are going to see through all of these parts. I want to just give some just two conclusions on what are or when were the outputs of the project. We had the knowledge pills. The knowledge pills were our if you go on a YouTube page, we had a YouTube page that doesn't work now, but as a YouTube page with the videos of the course that we had. And then we have a netbook that is going to be presented by Deborah, and then we have the measure and time methods and time measure MTM 4.0. Sorry for the refuses. And but now, just maybe it could be a little bit confused, but I'm gonna I want to show you the final video. It's going to last 2 minutes, but if you can see, you can enjoy.
Industry 4.0 is defined as the fourth industrial revolution. It raises the attention of politics, business, and civil society, becoming the central element of today's European and worldwide business debate.
It is fundamental for universities to adopt action for developing new skills for students and for companies to fill the gap of the startup training courses.
SPRINT 4.0 aims at achieving new skills and competencies for students directly related to the Industry 4.0 domain and supporting in acquiring entrepreneurship for their employability. The course educates students towards the potential of the industrial Internet of Things, covering both the managerial concepts as well as the enabling technologies. In Barcelona, we focus on data and security, dealing with the ability to manage and exploit the information generated from the systems, to foster both improvement and innovation.
In Pisa, the students face the importance of the digitalization of production systems, developing flexible applications of automatic systems based on sensors and microcontrollers.
Through prototypation of industrial application, the students had the chance of strengthening their skills and creativity, putting into practice the knowledge acquired in a mobility program.
Sprint 4.0 provides to European universities, research institutes and companies a fully renewed set of tools for educating students to Industry 4.0, increasing their entrepreneurship skills, implementing the recommendation of EU modernization agenda for higher education.
So let's go through the other presentation, and we can follow the agenda. Okay, now we will have for the audit methodologies. Oh, here you are, Halan.
I am.
Hi. Sorry, we were a little bit late, but we were running on time. Okay.
No problem. I can't share my screen, Nicola. Sorry.
Okay. You cannot. I'm gonna turn you as. I'm gonna give you the possibility to do it.
Thank you.
Okay. Alan. I think you can do it now.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. It's working now?
Yes.
Perfect. So, I'm going to... Can you see this? No? It's not working. The problem of two screens. I'm going to leave that way. It's okay for you?
It's no problem. It's okay.
Okay, good. So, the part that we are going to see now is the part of the audit methodology. First of all, I would like to say hello, everyone, okay? Because I met you in Pisa 1 year ago, and I think we had a very good time. So said that, I am very glad to consider the offer from UNIP of working with you, but I'm going to stay in Barcelona. So it's a joke about the agenda. Okay, about the audit methodology. The objective of this audit methodology is, okay, we have a gap between universities, between companies, between tech providers, but where is this gap? Where we have to go to improve our industry? So everyone wants to be 4.0 industry, but how we are going to do this? Where I have to focus? That's the objective. We are going to do this audit in order to check where are the main weaknesses of our companies. So what is the audit? At the end is a questionnaire. I think it's not a very long, but it's a good questionnaire, okay? Where we are going to see where is the maturity level of a company, okay? During the project, at the very beginning, in the first year, we had several audits with the companies related to the project, okay? In our case was Celsa in Barcelona. We had also OHS, we had Celetra also, and we have been working with them in order to check where they had their needs. With this information, we work with them in order to propose the challenges that our students worked during the courses. So the very first step that we have to do is identify where we are. We have several levels, okay, where we have the outsider where is, I don't know where we are, and the top performers where the readiness is top and the commitment is top. But sometimes one of the points here, and I think it's about the scale of grace, is, okay, if I want to be an experienced company that going to the top performers, where we have to go? Maybe you have the best technology in the world, but if your workers are not willing to work with this technology, it's useless for you. So the objective of this is, okay, where we are. We integrate two norms, the DIN-SPEC and the ACATEC study. The objective of this is having the basis, okay? With this basis, we can know what is Industry 4.0 with the DIN-SPEC 91346/2016 standard, okay? And also our actual level. With this information, what we are going to achieve is where are our main weaknesses. We have two main areas, okay? And inside these areas, we have two main points. In the part of the organization, we have the structure of this organization and the culture, okay? The fact of, okay, if I want to change, it's a good point to start the moment of, okay, I'm in the traditional industry, but if I have to move, what I have to do? Okay, if my people is willing to change, is looking for this movement, I need to have a structure also in order to improve this. The other side is the operational area. In this operational area, we have the information systems and the resources. If you have a very good information processing, it means that you have information from the machinery, from the lines, from the chains of your industry. With this information, we can integrate and work with this data in order to improve it. If you work with Excels, which are not integrated in the systems, it's a very huge problem. So the objective of this is, with this questionnaire, with this output, what we are going to have is the information that we can find the challenges that we have to tackle, okay? So the objective of this audit 4.0 is knowing where we have these main gaps, these main spaces that we have to fill in order to achieve this top performer commitment with our industry, with our industry 4.0. So I don't know if someone have any doubts, but you can check it as Nicola showed in the previous section of this final event. We have our audit methodologies uploaded in our website. So feel free to join the website, check the methodologies. If you have doubts, you can send us an email and we can work together in order to help you. So that's my presentation. Thanks everyone for joining the presentation and the final event, and I let the floor for my colleagues from the project.
Thank you, Alan. Now, thank you for explaining the audit methodologies. I mean, it was clearer than the way I explained it before, and then we will see after this audit methodologies how we prepare and how we develop the training courses. So if Robert is here, Robert, can you hear me?
Hello and welcome everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Robert.
Nicola, you need to give me some access rights, so I will present some slides as well. I'm currently not able to.
I think you can now.
Second. Unfortunately, I'm still a guest. But
You're a guest. I mean.
Oh, just a second. All right, so you should see my screen now.
Yes, perfect.
All right. Okay, so Nicola, thanks for the introduction and the description of the SPRINT 4.0 project, as well as the audit methodology, which is the introductory part of the project. And now I try to handle the question, how did the project address the needs of the companies while we had that training course at the 3 different universities, and possibly as well give kind of an outlook, who is actually going to benefit from it, not only from company side, but actually to attract the companies participating in such a course structure at the universities, not only in Germany, Italy, or Spain, but as well replicating those kind of courses in other faculties and countries. So what I want to highlight in this specific question, how the company needs have been addressed, is the structure and constellation of partners itself in the SPRINT project, and possibly following training courses. So on the one side, we have the universities, the companies, and the technology providers, which provide different perspectives on the topic of Industry 4.0. So, and with those different viewpoints onto the big field of Industry 4.0, you have the knowledge, which is inside of the universities, where you have specific fields of interests, Besides other topics in the huge area of Industry 4.0, you have the knowledge, which should be brought into the companies via the training of students that shall be, carry those knowledge into the companies. And this knowledge should be enriched by actually solutions that can be used quite by content of the or commercial off-the-shelf solutions as well that can be directly used to realize actually Industry 4.0 solutions. So this is the special mixture of competencies that are brought and bundled into the training course. And beside the competencies that are brought to the course, what are the kind of the special pillars that address the needs for companies? So on the one side, you have the concept of a so-called challenge. So what is a challenge? A challenge is a real problem description that is encountered in a company, either in a process or while producing something, manufacturing something, designing things, whatsoever. There is a real problem in the company, which is state of the art and currently existing. So that really is distinguishable to classical laboratory classes where you have a kind of standard problem which everybody can solve to train knowledge. So the challenge is different because it's real, it's up to date, and it is described. So, and the challenge is actually defined together with the teacher of the training course and the company representative. So you actually harmonize and synchronize the knowledge that is transferred from the universities and the problem descriptions with the companies. So you have a convergence of those two different threads that might as well, when you have only the university perspective, kind of the standard procedure, which is not close to reality. But we are, in this specific case, and with this setup, we are quite close to actually address current needs in companies. Another pillar is the so-called prototype or prototypation of products. So this is actually a method that is used while you have the training course. So with the given real challenge or problem description inside of the company, students are encouraged to think about a solution space. So what is the best thing to actually show your idea to a company representative, or actually the problem itself, than to have a very cheap solution to design your kind of product or service. So here, with a little example of PDA back in days, you shall deliver an idea of the final product you're imagining. So, and this is a method you're delivering to the representatives of the companies who are involved in the course as well. So, and you have a very creative and fruitful exchange that the prototype is directly addressing the needs of the companies, and you can really fine-tune inside of the course with several feedback loops what you're imagining with your solution space. So it's not only about finding the right solution, but getting as close as possible to the needs that are really addressed to the problem description. On top of that, as already mentioned, there is this kind of method called mobility experience. So in the mobility experience, the idea of a prototype is transformed in a goal-oriented implementation. So the students that are competing in those challenges are addressing the problems, and there is only one possibly best solution. So this best solution is going to be implemented in a real prototype inside of the company. So actually, there you have a transfer of knowledge enriched with a solution space, and then you have the possibility to transfer the knowledge into experience while implementing it actually inside of the companies. So in those three kind of pillars that are inside of the training course are the innovative thing that you have in the course, because as you know, you have lectures, frontal which you receive just the knowledge, or you have lab classes where you just have the hands-on on practical and standard problem descriptions. And here in this specific case, you have a mixture of all of those aspects where you have a very broad perspective or a very broad experience how to actually encounter and solve a problem. So based on the solution that is given by the university, so the course content that is delivered and the challenge, you have a 5-day seminar that is very compact and is already described. You have the sprint and the very fast development of ideas into prototypes that are finally, or that you have several prototypes of the students you're teaching, and based on this kind of competitive nature of the course, while you're solving a challenge, you're delivering one prototype that can be tested inside of the company, enriched by the mobility experience where you have international exchange between the companies and the universities, which not only delivers the competencies in the field and about the topics, but as well having the international exchange and the enrichment of problem descriptions, for example, in another language with other cultural foundations, and all the problems and constraints that are as well in those boundaries are addressed with that. So, and to conclude this, I just want to come to the benefits. So we are developing competencies in different fields and across different domains, and as well you have the hands-on, really application-oriented implementations in the field of the companies. And furthermore, it's definitely a state-of-the-art technology that can be used. So it's not like the usual knowledge transfer into students that might be helpful in the future. It's really currently state-of-the-art implementation of knowledge in the field. So you have the system solution as well brought into companies, and furthermore it facilitates the cross-domain application of technologies. So you think not about the technologies itself, but really you're grabbing the problem, analyze it, and finding in a creative environment a solution for it. So, and you receive with that a practical skill set that is very fruitful for a company and very helpful for future employees to be very attractive on the market for companies that are interested in implementing Industry 4.0 applications. So, and with that conclusion, I would like to thank you for your attention, and if there are any further questions to my person itself, I'm happy to answer them, and you can directly contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. This is very, very clear presentation about the training courses. I think that I need to introduce very fast now the case study by introducing Luigi, that is one of the tech providers. So it was it comes from the company, a real company that provides skills and case studies to the students to develop their prototype. Luigi, the floor is up to you.
Yeah, hi Nicola, and hi to all the partners and participants. Yes, I work at Zerint. You can find us as Zerint, or TOI is the old name of the company. And I'll try to briefly show you our experience as technology provider and what we did with the participants. Basically, we provide tools and softwares and services for enabling the IoT. In particular, we provide to system integrators and product companies a complete platform for developing IoT solutions, so hardware, software, and cloud. What we did during the Sprint 4.0, basically we had two main tasks, showing real-world industrial IoT use cases and let's say unveiling the behind the scenes of a tech provider and also of the customers that want to improve their business model and their technologies thanks to industrial Internet of Things. And then we also ran some workshops and hands-on sessions in order to show the real-world technologies behind these use cases. Starting from the first task, we used the scheme provided by another partner of the project in order to formalize the use case, focusing on the problem to be solved and on the solution, with details about the technical solutions, but also about the business goals and the business outcomes that we provided to our customer. And we choose three use cases. The first one related to smart warehousing, the second one related to an IoT monitoring system for industrial refrigeration, and the third one regarding an IoT system for monitoring biogas in a waste management plant. I think that this was a very interesting part for the participants. We received a lot of feedback and questions, and it was very fun to provide this information. And another very important task during the Sprint 4.0 was to running the workshops and the hands-on sessions. In particular, we showed the participants how to run Python, the most important popular programming language in all the sectors, on microcontrollers that are the heart of IoT products, how to read data from analog and digital sensors, to send data to the cloud, how to visualize and analyze data on the cloud. So we had very practical sessions, and we ran the workshops on Barcelona and on Bremen and on the University of Pisa too. So just some considerations. I can say that it was very challenging, but also very interesting for the participants and for us too. And that's it. I can say that it was also very fun.
Thank you. We had the evaluations. We had also the evaluations from the students about the courses, each courses, and evaluation for the partners, and it was very, very good, especially for the workshop that you had in the whole 3 countries. So it was good for you, but it was good also for students to touch real case technologies. Now, okay, we talk about the. I'm gonna share the screen with the agenda. Okay. We were having this journey, okay, and then we are in the case study of Toy and Zarin now, but after that, these students had the possibility to make a mobility, and the mobility was focused on developing their real solution. And now we will have we are going to see Andrea Begni, that is a student from University of Pisa, so he has the possibility to attend the course on production systems, and then he has the possibility to go in Barcelona with some issues, but he developed a solution, a real solution. So if Andrea is here, okay, I can call him.
Hi to everyone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna share my screen for the presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you? Of
Let's
course.
talk about your experience.
But it was strange. Unfortunately, really fast, but it was very interesting. It was interesting about the course Sprint 4.0 in Pisa. We have seen a lot of interesting things about robotic stuffs and automation stuffs. Like we were studying. Actually. So, and of course the experience, it was really quick, but it was a good experience because we were in the real industry, in the real factory, and we had the opportunity to see how the people works and what the problem we can have in a really environment of working. That it's really difficult to see that in the university, but it was really good. So I'm gonna show you our project. The project talk about a computer vision system for counting rebars. Okay, what the company target was. The main target of our company, Chelsea Barna Steel in Barcelona, was to reduce the number of counting error that they had with all counting system here. Okay, represented by this machine, this blue machine here. So we talked about 4.0 industry approach, and we talked about replace or integrate this old system with a new final content, with a new system represented by a computer vision system here. So we wanted to replace this kind of counting with this final concept here. So with a camera and a computer connected here with algorithm that counts the rebars in front of it, and a station with lights or a proper illumination system to help the counting system. Okay, so what we implemented. We implemented a system like that. So here we have a diagram or information flow. The company gave us this camera, a Vision H4A. This is a camera with the camera for the security system. So we tried to requalify this camera for a computer vision system. So we had to transcode the streaming video from camera to in a video stream that MATLAB could read. So we use VLC Media Player for transcode the streaming video in a format that MATLAB can be read, because it was impossible to connect directly the streaming video, the camera, to MATLAB. So I'm going to show you a little test, a simulation little test, because we didn't do a really test with rebars because it was impossible cause of sanitary emergency. So we tried this algorithm at home and we tried to simulate the profile of the rebars with tennis balls. So like a really circular profile, like a rebars, and we try to simulate a background with a black blanket behind the balls and homemade illumination. So that we could do in this difficult situation. So I'm gonna show you the video here. We have the rebar counter and the required counter for the actual bundle here. So the algorithm can identify the centroids of each bar, in this case of each bolts, and when the bolts pass the counting line, the rebar's counter increment by 1 point the counting. So okay. So when the last ball passed the counting line, the algorithm start from 0 again, because it filled up the previous bundle, and the algorithm read the new required value of the new bundle. In this case, we have the same request as before, three before and 3 now. So another thing that the algorithm do is to send a stop message for PLC to stop the chain, the movement chains of rebars. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something more. We did some caution things for to avoid some issue that you can find when you count the bar in a chain movement. So sometimes the bars goes in the opposite way, and this could be a problem. So we try to avoid this problem, to decrease the number of the counter here to decrease 1 when the centroid pass in opposite direction. Okay, so just more thing. We introduced this segmentation effect that can avoid that the profile of rebars counted for 1 instead of 2, and it's not a problem because the rebar, when the rebar are attached during the passage across the line, the algorithm can still count in proper way. Okay. So this is the video. What we didn't do caused by the war pandemic. Of course, we didn't test the algorithm in a factory environment, so we didn't know exactly what the new issue we could find there. We didn't connect the MATLAB to PLC movement, so it could be good to improve PLC communication between MATLAB and PLC movement system. And we didn't connect MATLAB to internal system to manage the Balno requirement. What we can do, what we can improve. Of course, we can build a proper computer vision station with an infrared illumination system. We didn't do it. At the moment, we have just one camera without illumination, without the proper source illumination. We can improve the capture phase because we used camera control system camera and not a computer vision camera. There is a little difference between them, and of course we can extract the rebar data for statistical analysis. That's that we did that. So thank you for attention of the opportunity. It was really fun. It was really good to talk with the industry or to talk about the real problem that we are in the industry. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. So you went to the CELSA group that is one of the partner, Barna Steel, but we can have Carly here from Germany, from Bremen, that was another partner. So we hope that students from in Spain, and he had the possibility to finish and to have the whole 1 month mobility. So
Yes, Nicola, thanks a lot for your introduction. So I know we are short on time, and although there are a lot of things I could talk about with respect to the visit of these two students from Spain here in Bremen, I have to focus most probably a bit. So just to say a couple of words about OHS. So we are a company which offers, on the one hand, innovative technologies and consultancy in the area of Industry 4.0, and we also offer industrial services in the field of manufacturing and logistics. And this means we are, let's say, both. We are on the one hand a technology provider, and on the other hand, we are, let's say, an end user of this kind of technologies. As part of our product portfolio, we are offering maintenance services for production equipment in the aviation industry. So for Airbus, we take care for about 4,000 different kinds of assets and tools which are used in the final assembly lines of the Airbus plant in Hamburg-Finkenwerder. And our activities in this respect covers logistics, mechanical maintenance, repair, spare parts management, document management, as well as the coordination of all these kind of maintenance activities. So we are really covering a really broad area of different activities, and therefore we have a lot of problems, even in such an innovative, let's say, industry as the aviation industry is. For instance, data are still captured by hand, spreadsheets are used, spreadsheet software is used instead of database management systems. So there are many, many things which can be improved in order to, let's say, be more transparent and efficient. These problems we had were presented to the students, and I really have to say this maintenance field we are addressing is really quite complex. There are lots of responsibilities, stakeholders involved there. It's not easy to understand, and from that point of view, I was really impressed how quickly the students were able to get the main issues there, and how creative they were in presenting solutions. So, for instance, we had this prototype workshop in Pisa. Many of you will remember the idea of one group, this virtual car, for instance. I have to really admit that I heard about this concept or the method of prototypes the first time in Sprint, and I really think it's a great approach, and it will really help a lot in order to find a good solution for a given problem. So it should be really noted in this context that the students which were involved in these workshops were really committed and motivated. This is to some extent a very positive thing of this course, because maybe that's the reason. It's the reason for having these real industrial problems, which were, let's say, addressed by the different kinds of workshops, prototype development and prototype development. So I really want to mention that from the very beginning. So coming now to our experience with the students who have been here during October last week. So first of all, I think it's really important for a company who is inviting these students to be very well prepared for the stay of these students. So it was important for us to really provide them benefit, as much benefit as possible. It shouldn't be a one-way, let's say, road. It was our vision that we have to offer them interesting tasks, and on the one hand, and on the other hand, it should be possible for them to complete this task while being in Bremen in order to keep them motivated. It was also important for us to provide them a very clear understanding about the current state of play with respect to Industry 4.0. So having technologies available is always a good thing, but not each technology is suited for a specific application scenario. And in my opinion, the young engineers should be enabled to identify and to select the right technologies for a given scenario in order to gain, let's say, a convincing cost-benefit ratio at the end. So it was also our intention to offer these students interesting topics. So giving them the opportunity to improve their skills while exploiting their knowledge for us. And last but not least, we, from the beginning on, we told them that we are very much interested in utilize or use their results for ourselves. So both of the students could be sure that their work will be further used and is not considered as something like research results which will not be touched anymore in the future. So we wanted them to be proud of their results in their pockets when coming home. So the results they achieved, I was really happy about them. So although they were just a month here in Bremen, they really developed working prototypes. And both of these prototypes are either still in use here in our company or were used as the base for further development. So one of these guys, for instance, contributed very much to a database structure, which is the base for an in-house development, which is called Smart Maintain. The system is used in order to manage all the assets we are responsible for. And furthermore, this guy also helped us a lot in order to harmonize the existing master data, which is usually available in a very poor, let's say, quality. And doing this, he, let's say, used an approach which was really new for us. So it was really interesting to have these results available. The other guy developed a mobile application, which is still in use here in order to reduce our manual, let's say, error-prone communication and documentation tasks. For instance, whenever we pick up or deliver a tool which has been to maintain or was maintained, we need to document this. And this tool also helps us a lot in order to reduce our own efforts and to increase, let's say, transparency concerning our activities to the customer. So both of the guys used their knowledge. They came with lots of knowledge, which was relevant for us, and they came up with many new ideas. So we as OHS benefited a lot from their stay here in Bremen. While I think the guys got many insights in practical industrial processes. So at the end, it was a win-win situation. We learned from each other. And beside all the work, we also had a couple of very nice social events. And I can say all of us really enjoyed them. Unfortunately, the guys coming from the sunny south has to deal with the weather conditions here in Bremen during autumn. But this didn't prevent us from having fun, and it was a pleasure having them here in Bremen. It was really a great experience. So my conclusion concerning Sprint, we really enjoyed the work with the students and all of the Sprint partners. The structure of the course in combination with this mobility experience of the students worked really well for us. So, and the students really contributed to our challenge. It was great to have them here, and I can say if there would be another course like this, we would be definitely happy to join again with another industrial challenge coming from OHS. Thank you. That's it. Nicola, I cannot hear you.
Nicola, sei muto.
As usual, I always forgot my microphone off. This is me today, but thank you, Professor Fantoni, and thank you, Carl, for the experience. And I would like to thank also Alan as well, because he from the Spanish side. And then we are going to conclude this final conference, unfortunately, in digital conference with a key partner that is the Francesca, that works as well with the Deborah Greco. They come from Fondazione Giacomo Brodolini, and they help us to the evaluation, so the overall evaluation of the courses, and then they develop with the help of all of us and the Sprint partnership of the handbook. Please, Francesca. Thank you.
Yes. So I hope you can see the sharing.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And I'm here, as you said, on behalf of Fondazione Brodolini, and also to ensure a sort of gender balance in this panel. And I just want to thank you for this journey inside, I would say, this 3 years project, because it's been very interesting I mean, to listen to all the stories since the very beginning when we were discussing about the assessment till the very end with the experience of the students. And when we were preparing together with all the others the handbook, I think we have been able to summarize all the most important and relevant experience. I think that when the project initially was submitted, the idea, especially from the lead partners, but I'm sure this was like shared by all the other partners, was to develop not only to carry a project, but try to develop a new kind of methodology to be applied and to be used in university and in the research center. In other ways, what we try to do is like to develop and to make a project that could be replicable and transferable. And for this reason, I think a lot of effort has been put from all the partners involved, and to summarize and to create the handbook. We have involved also experts working on the educational and training methodology. I think that the kind of handbook that we create is a handbook that is able to mix all the part of theory and all the part of practice in a way that let the university and research center not only to create new courses, but also to adapt the new one, the one already existing. So how the handbook has been created, the content can be divided in three main parts. Of course, the project context, and then the methodology, and then the good part, the good practice, all the part that my colleague and partners described before about the transnational mobility. I think it's important the way in which we underline in the project context why the project started and the way in which the flow goes throughout the project. I think that what we started from the consideration of the big mismatch between the university curricula and the needs of enterprise. And also we were able to translate this in the fact that the opportunity offered by Industry 4.0 are most of the part unexplored by the university and by the company. So we try to create a tool that help university, companies, and tech providers to use the potential of Industry 4.0. From the methodology point of view, I try to go like quite fast because I know we are out of time, but like what we try to do from the methodology in the handbook was just to develop a methodology that has as a main pillars the tools that we use in the project, so that these tools can be adopted, can be adjusted from other university and research center. So the audit questionnaire, the application process we use, and also the evaluation we use to monitor the results and to monitor how the courses was liked by the students and by the company involved, the instruction on the activities, and also like some tips in a way how we can engage more the students or more the company, what was as our experience so far now. We focus a little bit on the handbook on the good practice that for us was the possibility reserved to the students to be able to create their prototype within the company. So Carl discussed a lot about this amazing experience, and also listening to the students who joined the experience was, I think, very instructive, very nice for all of us. But I think why, I mean, if I have to answer the question, why would you suggest to implement this project and the methodology in other reality? I would say that when we talk about an ecosystem of innovation, we talk about actors that are linked and work together, co-plan and co-design together. So this project was able to put together university, company, and tech provider. But this project was able to do more because it wasn't just to link in a local way, but this project was able, through the methodology, develop to link the local ecosystem of innovation internationally. So this is, I think, a good result achieved, and this is one of the unique contribution we can have. Where to find and download the handbook? So we have the project website, and on the results, there are all the results of the international output, and you can find the SPRINT 4.0 handbook. For all the other information, you can ask the lead partner at Nicola, or you can ask all the partners, and we are here. I'm more than happy to join and to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca, and I would like to thank also Deborah. She's not here, and you are in behalf of her and the whole Fondazione. I think that, I mean, we are fine now. We finished. Okay, we are losing people because I mean we're getting. We are not on time, but I mean this is one of the things that happen when you are in a digital conference, and I would like to thank all of the people that joined this final conference, starting from the BEDS Lab and then here for the Sprint conference. And okay, I just want to remind to the partners that we need to have the final meeting together. So thank you for the participation for everybody, and see you in the next project, because something is a lot of things are starting new years, and the lab is going to present some new things. Bye, but stay here for the partners.